Have you ever watched someone leave your church seemingly out of nowhere and thought, what happened to them? Maybe leadership said the world got to them. Maybe they blew up at someone on their way out the door, and that became the whole story. But I want to offer you a different explanation for why a lot of people leave church. Because I have been on both sides of the situation, both the person in the pew wondering why people left so suddenly without explanation, and also the person who walked out and had different stories told about them. And honestly, the truth is way more uncomfortable than just the slippery slope argument that you'll get of people leaving church. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, I'm Colin, the resident nerd and Bible scholar here at the Bible Uncut and Unfiltered. When I was leaving the church that I had grown up in, a teacher pulled me aside and asked why. And I told him about my concerns, about the leadership, about the culture, the spiritual abuse going on. And he just looked at me and said, I've had those exact same concerns, and I thought I was the only one. He had been sitting on that for a long time, smiling every Sunday, going along with the program, and I never knew. And he didn't know that other people were feeling the same way too. That moment has stuck with me for over 3 years now because I started hearing similar stories over and over. The people who snapped, who flipped a switch, pastors shaking their head like it was some mystery how so-and-so could leave the church after so long in it. But when I actually knew the people that left, I knew they weren't crazy, they weren't backslidden, they were just done being silent. And so what I realized is that people don't actually change overnight. And people don't blow their tops without warning signs. So why does it often look so sudden in church? Well, in evangelical and fundamentalist culture, you are trained to self-silence. Think about it with me. From the moment you are in it, you are given a new identity, new expectations, a new persona to perform, all of which are warning signs of a cult. Just saying. There's a reason the Duggar documentary from a few years ago was called Shiny Happy People, because that's the brand. Christians are supposed to radiate joy. Problems are either a test from God or a temptation of the devil, but they are always your problem to fix internally. Nothing is ever just allowed to be hard. In fact, I knew a pastor who had a rule. If you came to him with a complaint about something in the church, you had to come with a solution as well. And he even admitted to me that he did that specifically to stop people from coming to him with issues. Because most people don't have a polished solution ready, they just realize there's an issue. So when you give them that kind of rule, they just stay quiet. And to him, it looked like he was removing issues that weren't really issues. What was really happening, though, is those issues were getting pushed under the surface for later. Because nothing changes when you can't talk about it. And the people who could fix it end up not speaking up because they don't have the energy to fight their way into being heard. I mean, imagine refusing to let your partner or your best friend share their concerns with you until they had a resolution. It's often in the discussing of the problem that the resolution is determined. I'm a therapist. If people had to wait to talk to me until their problems were fixed, they never talked to me. So I guess the difference between me and that pastor is I only get paid if I'm actually being a help. There's also this problem, and I think this gets overlooked a lot. Churches often preach unity, but practice uniformity. Those aren't the same things. Jesus called his people to work together, to compromise, to bring their different gifts. But what a lot of these churches actually want is everyone looking the same, acting the same, talking the same, dressing the same. Your individual perspective, and conscience I might add, gets absorbed into the group. And when that happens, you quench that still small voice in your head that says, something ain't right here. So here's what actually happens. The concern shows up, maybe early on, but there's no safe outlet, so it gets pushed down. And then it happens again, and it gets pushed down again. And it's like in any relationship, the longer you sit on something without bringing it up, the harder it becomes to bring it up. Because now you're thinking, well, I should have said this months ago, and it's too embarrassing to bring it up now. It's like that old Seinfeld episode where Jerry can't remember his girlfriend's name, but they've been dating too long for him to ask what it is. So you wait, and it just builds and builds and builds until the dissonance between what you believe and what you are allowed to say becomes too much to live with. And that's when people leave. Maybe loudly, maybe messily, And leadership points to that and says, see, this is the problem. But the mess isn't the problem. The problem is the environment that made people feel so silenced, so dehumanized, that they would rather lose everything than just have a conversation. That's the problem. So if you are still in one of these churches right now, and any of this is resonating with you, I want to say something directly to you. You're not crazy, no matter how you've been made to feel. The thing that you've been noticing that seems like a problem, it's probably real. That discomfort you keep pushing down, it's telling you something. And you don't have to perform fine forever. But if I can give you just a little gentle nudge, speak up before you reach your breaking point. And I know it feels risky. I know church culture often makes it feel dangerous. But if you voice your concerns clearly, calmly, and on record, two things happen. One, you give leadership a real chance to actually be what they claim to be and make changes. But if that doesn't happen, then two, you walk away at least knowing you did your part. And the people watching, they will know exactly what the problems are instead of whatever excuse leadership could come up with. You won't be as easily dismissed as someone who just went off the deep end. See, spiritual authority only exists in these places because the congregations give it. That's it. These institutions have only the power that we give to them. And we can take it back. Not through bitterness, not through blowing everything up on the way out, but by refusing to be silent. By saying clearly, here is what I see. Here is what needs to change, and I am saying it out loud. Because nothing changes when everyone pretends like everything is fine. God didn't make you to be a silent version of yourself. And if that's what the church wants, it's time to tell them that's a problem and walk out the door.